What up, YouTube? It's your boy Karan back again with another video, man. And I want to talk about being the best version, the best man your family lineage has ever seen. But that's not saying much. Most of us come from average backgrounds. Most of us come from fathers who really just do the best that they can. And it's not a diss to my dad, because my dad really did the best he could. You know, he worked 2-3 jobs sometimes. Sometimes he was going through his own bouts of, addiction and things like that. Sorry for oncoming traffic. And when he was right, he still works. One of my main goals is to one day retire him and my mom, so they could, really enjoy the latter parts of their lives, focus on being grandparents and things of that nature. But, when he was in his younger years, he running the streets, doing what he did, chasing women. I heard some of the arguments between him and my mom when I was younger. So, I'm not going to say too much, but that's, what he was into. And like most of us, a lot of things that we do when we're young, sometimes, your dad was into the same mix. So my dad, the game that we got now where we can just go on YouTube and, go to a trade school, and try to really work on self-improvement, leveling ourselves up, going to a community college, trade school, taking a course and getting a certification, and then really starting from there, building ourselves up from there, getting in the gym, doing a whole bunch of things. Like a lot of times, especially back then, they didn't have the information that we have now. And shoot, if it's hard for you now, especially when you got kids, maybe you may be a single dad, or you got a baby mom, or you got a wife or a woman that you're in a relationship with and you got kids, imagine how hard it was for them back then. It was just 3 of us, my older sister, me, and my brother, and then we had my younger brother, and then they had my younger sister. So I'm not saying it's really over for you after you have kids, but you've made it harder on yourself, especially if you're not where you want to be in your life. And I always ask guys, like, why make it harder on yourself than it has to be? So you may love this woman, you may want to build a life with her, but you don't have to rush into getting married when you're not ready. You don't have to rush into especially having kids when you're not ready, guys, because all it's really going to do is just make things much more difficult on you than it has to be. And then you'll just be stuck looking around wondering what could have been. So instead of judging your father, instead of being upset with your father or your parents for that nature, but I'm talking about my father, so to speak, just learn from their mistakes. My dad used to always tell me, like, son, I've been your age before, so I know what you're going through. My mom used to tell me that too, but he's been my age before, and when he was my age, he had 2 to 3 kids already. I don't got none. I don't have a lot of debt. I'm still young enough. I still got all my faculties together. I'm still able-bodied. I have a job. I'm ready to step into another job. I'm ready to get another job. Looking forward to going to school in the spring to really step up my life. And I always ask myself when I'm feeling down, like, is this just a regular feeling down, or is there something really wrong in my life? And most of the time, it's nothing really too wrong. It's just me comparing myself to other people. Like, I had a mentor tell me that, you're in a really good spot. Like, sure, you're 30, but 30 is young. Like, we think into a lot of times, especially young men, we get into a football sense of thinking, or even a female's way of thinking. When they turn 30, things are different. Their bodies start to change in a way that, the older they get after 30, it's a lot more dangerous for them to have children. Now, granted, technology is making it a little bit easier for them, but it's still not all the way there yet. For men, most of us don't really hit our prime until 35, 40 years old. And most of us don't hit our highest peak of earning, what we can earn in this world, our highest earning potential, until we're 60. So in all actuality, we're really still very, very, very young. What an asshole, hold up. So we're really still very, very young. And, a lot of times, like I said, we really try to rush the process. And I remember telling somebody else, when they asked me why I go so hard, is I feel like I'm in a race against time, because, I understand that, tomorrow ain't promised, and any day could be our last, let alone our parents' last. My dad is, if not in his early 60s, pushing 60, and my mom is in her mid 50s. And I'm starting to really see, like, where they are in life, and, certain things they're not able to do that they may have been able to do when I was younger. Shoot, my dad used to run up and down the block and play basketball. That ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? And especially with the technology we got at our disposal today, like, you know, there's dudes that's 50, 60 that you might catch at a LA Fitness or the Y, running up and down the court playing basketball, shooting hoops, going to the gym. For a lot of dudes that treated their bodies wrong and had a bunch of kids and had to work a lot of hard labor jobs, wasn't stretching before bed, wasn't stretching when they got up, wasn't taking, you know, the best care of their bodies when it came to eating and sleep. You know what I'm saying? So I just really start to get in that mode where I understand, you know, the type of position I'm in my life, and where you know, the name for myself that I could really carve out, the place in society I could really carve out in my life. If I take these next 3 to 5 years extremely serious, you know, by the time I'm 34, 35, I can be in a hell of a position, really just scratching the surface. Because if you look around, most of your friends at 30, they're trying to get somebody pregnant, they're trying to marry somebody, they're trying to move in with somebody, and they take that practical approach because they think that's what they have to do. And the more and more I really start to sit back and separate myself and really just look around at things and really start to map out what I want to do with my life, month by month, breaking it down, what I'm going to do on a daily basis to get there, I really start to see, like, you know, you can be at, especially in your area, you can be at the top 1, top 2, top 5%, top 10% in that area, and with minimal amount of work, just doing the basics, you know what I'm saying? And I really not only want to do this for myself, but I want to do this for the generations to come after me. Not only my kids, but my niece and nephews, my brothers, my sisters, and just, you know, younger men and younger women coming up after me to really see, like, you know, where I was in life and where I got myself to with just being focused. You know, you don't always have to be behind in life. You don't always have to be struggling. You don't always have to be stressed and anxious. Like, yo, you can really take life by the horns and then just get after that. You know what I'm saying? And it just got me to thinking, like, I don't want to just be the best man that my family's ever seen. I want to be one of the best men this world has ever seen, bro. People still talk about a lot of these old kings that have been dead for thousands of years. People still talk about a lot. Shoot, Steve Jobs been dead for how long? Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Stephen Hawking, you know, Nelson Mandela. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these men been gone for years, and even the men that came before them, you know, they've been gone for years, and people still talk about them. They're gonna talk about them forever, and that's what I'm aiming for. You know, I'm aiming for immortality. That's just my, you know, that's my 2 cents for the day, man. Something for y'all to think about, guys. I'm out. I appreciate y'all. Leave a like, comment down below what y'all think and how y'all going about y'all goals and attacking how y'all want to be remembered in this life. And, you know, hit the subscribe button, hit this the bell button so you never miss out on the video I hit you with next. Appreciate it.